So, book talk of The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. This is her debut novel. It's recently been adapted into a movie. It's a Florida Teen Reads for 2018, and it is just an all-around awesome book, and I highly recommend it. But instead of just recommending it, I'm going to tell you what it's about and tell you why I think you should read it. It's about a 16-year-old girl named Star. She's growing up in a predominantly Black neighborhood, but goes to a predominantly white school, as her parents have decided to send her to a private school to get away from some of the violence and underfunded schools that are in the area. So Star, you have Star 1.0, Star, Garden Heights Star, and Star 2.0. Star 2.0 has to deal with code switching and wearing her hair nice and just being what her white friends expect her to be versus just being herself. So Star witnesses the murder of a childhood friend of hers by a police officer during the book. She's the only witness. She has to decide whether or not she's going to testify. And I'm not going to tell you if she does or not. I know because I've read it twice. But I'm not going to tell you because I want you to read it. So she witnesses this killing. It is a situation where the boy had a little bit of a rough past, but the police officer takes that and takes the fact that he thinks he's fearing for his life because the kid reaches for something in the car. And he shoots him and kills him, but he had no weapons, he had no drugs, he had nothing that could have harmed this police officer. So I just want to say real quick that police officers sometimes do great things and sometimes they make terrible mistakes. And sometimes they just totally abuse their power. So this book kind of makes you think all three, like, was it, justified? Was it a situation where he just made a mistake because he really thought that he was doing the right thing? Or did he kill him just because he could? That you have to read the book to find out. Anyway, one of the things that I really appreciated was in seeing the interactions between Star and her friends at her private school. I can't relate to the status of attending a private school, but I can relate with her white friends, just like on, not being as familiar with Black history as I could be, and not knowing how to be a good ally for the Black community or for teens in general. So I got to see a little bit of that with her interactions between Star and Haley. For instance, in an event that happens prior to the book, but they mentioned during it's about midway through, they talk about the fact that Star has posted a picture of Emmett Till on her Tumblr, and Haley unfollows her because she just couldn't stand the sight of it, and Star sharing social justice posts was really getting to her. And I understand to a certain extent because the photo of Emmett Till is very graphic. If you've never seen it before, and you decide to look it up, steel your stomach because it's a rough one. But at the same time, you need to support people who are standing up for themselves and standing up for their community and not just shut it down. So in saying that, I want to share real quick a little excerpt from the end of the book. There are a few names here: Seven, Sakani, Kenya, and Devante. These are names of characters in the book. And the others are actual real people. Once upon a time, there was a hazel-eyed boy with dimples. I called him Khalil. The world called him a thug. He lived, but not nearly long enough, and for the rest of my life, I'll remember how he died. Fairy tale? No. But I'm not giving up on a better ending. It would be easy to quit if it was just about me, Khalil, that night, and that cop. It's about way more than that, though. It's about Seven, Sakani, Kenya, Devante. It's also about Oscar, Ayana, Trayvon, Rakia, Michael, Eric, Tamir, John, Ezel, Sandra, Freddie, Alton, Philando. It's even about that little boy in 1955 who nobody recognized at first, Emmett. Messed up part? There's so many more. Yet I think it'll change one day. How? I don't know. When? I definitely don't know. Why? Because there will always be someone ready to fight. Maybe it's my turn. This is Star reflecting on some of the injustices that have happened mostly people who have been killed by police officers. And sharing the names of real people and their stories. So this book is, it's a good merging between fiction and reality. It almost feels like reading a story about someone who is not fictional. I definitely would recommend this book for kids in grades 8 and up. I recommend it for adults. If you're a Black teen who wants to read a relatable story and see yourself represented in literature, absolutely pick it up. If you're a white teenager or adult who wants to learn how to be a better ally, read this because, sorry. I came out of it with a much better understanding of the injustices and the just everyday difficulties facing the Black community. I think when I get pulled over, I'm worried about, like, is my taillight actually out? Was I speeding? How do I get out of this ticket? I can't talk back to this police officer, or, am I going to make it out of this alive? I've only been afraid of the financial repercussions of getting a ticket and points on my license. And I'm lucky to feel that way. And it's literally just a matter of, the melanin level in my skin, that I don't have to go through that fear process of, if I reach for something in my car, will they think I'm going to shoot them? So yeah, that's The Hate U Give. Read it. You should also see the movie, but you definitely need to read the book. And that's it. Thanks for listening. If anything I said affects you and you want to share anything in the comments, please do. If I said anything that's like totally way off base, also share it, because I love constructive criticism, and it's the only way we can grow. And yeah, thank you, and read the book.